Welcome to Right on Track, a songwriting podcast. Thanks to Tone for tuning in. I'm Demi Michelle Schwartz, and I'm thrilled you're joining me on my songwriting journey. So kick back and relax, don't fall flat, and remember, stay right on track. Hey everyone, welcome back to Right on Track. Joining me today is an artist I'm so excited to have a chat with. Please welcome Sasha Maxine. Hi, Sasha.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm really good. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. I was super excited when you reached out. I'm so excited to have you here today. So, to kick us off, can you please share with everyone a little about yourself and your journey in music so far?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been playing piano since I was about 4 years old, and I grew up in Manhattan. So it was super easy for me to get very connected to other different performing arts things. Like I was in acting schools for most of my life. I took dance. So I've really been very kind of familiar with performing arts from a very young age. And I've been playing like, piano has really been the core of everything that I've been doing, like, throughout everything I've done, I've always just been practicing because 'cause I'm classically trained, I'm very, very lucky because 'cause I've had amazing teachers to have helped me along the way. So, when I was about 12 or 13, my parents and I, we moved from Manhattan to Westchester County, and the move was obviously it was very difficult because it was during COVID, but I managed to always just hold on to my love for music, and I originally started writing songs when I was about 10. It wasn't anything crazy, I just remember that I wanted a way to just express myself and kinda get my thoughts out, so I did it on paper and in front of the piano, and here we are now, I guess. I'm so, so grateful to have been able to record in a totally original album of all my music, and I've had the most incredible support system, and I've still been doing music throughout my entire life, throughout everything that I've been doing, no matter how much schoolwork I have or whatever I have going on, I always try to find a time to relax and sit down at the piano and just play and just kind of unwind. So, yeah, that's kinda where I'm at with that.
I love that so much. I'm also classically trained in piano, and
Oh my
I
god.
still play classical music. I actually majored when I was in college, I double majored in music and creative writing. So I had that level of classical music education too. Question: who's your favorite composer?
My favorite composer would probably have to be Prokofiev.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, I played his, Montauk and Capulet March on the piano a couple years ago, and it's not a piece that's originally written for the piano, but it was so fun because the piano adaptation is really, really beautiful and it's really fun to play.
I love it. I would have to say my favorite composer is Debussy, and
Oh,
Mozart
Claire de
is a
Lune
close
gets me every
second.
time.
Arabesque #1 is my all-time favorite piece.
That's no, it's an awesome piece. Claire de Lune is gonna do it for me
Yes,
every
yep,
single
yep.
time.
Yeah, Clair de
Every
Lune's good
time.
too.
It's so beautiful.
I actually played the whole Sweet Bergamasque for my senior recital in college.
Oh my god, that's great. Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So, yeah. Currently, right now, I'm working on Claire Schumann's Nocturne, which I played before, and I'm relearning that one. That's really pretty too, if you haven't heard
That's a
that one.
really, really gorgeous piece. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I'm so happy you know about Clara. See, you're definitely into the classical music space. A lot of people don't really know about her as much, just Robert Schumann because of the time period and female composers and all
Mhm.
that. But I think she has such really beautiful music, and everyone should listen to Claire Schumann.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. So you shared a little about how you've always loved music since you were young and you started to dive into songwriting. So, how would you describe your songwriting process now that you have been at it for a bit?
I'll be going about my day, just literally, I'll just be unloading dishes or I'll be doing my homework, and all of a sudden, words will pop into my head. And then if they're really, really good and I like how they sound, I like how they just came out, I try not to really overthink anything that I write. I will literally run to the piano and try to see if anything else comes out of that. And if more words just kind of pile on and on and on and on, and I can find a melody and a rhythm that goes with them really well, I have a song. Like some of my songs, I kid you not, were written in about 10, 15 minutes simply because it felt so natural for them to be written. So it's really kind of like a spontaneous thing.
I love that so much. I think our best songs are the ones that come when it's natural, when we have that inspiration that just flows
Mhm.
and gives us a gem for a story idea for the song. So, speaking of the storytelling aspect, which I know you're really big with the storytelling in your music, what typically inspires your songs in your daily day life?
I wouldn't say that it's certain, like, specific events, but I feel like it's just certain feelings that I wanna convey with my music. Like, I'm not go like, I don't really base my songs based off things that have happened in real life. Like, obviously, if I'm feeling a certain way about an event that's happened in my life, it's gonna reflect in my music and the chords I use and the words I say, but I feel like it's not more about a situation that I'm trying to write about or reflect on, but more about the feeling that I'm trying to give through the song itself. So, to answer your question more fully, I'm not really sure if it's such like a kind of black and white answer. I feel like it's just different every single time, but moreover, it's just like it's basically for me to just describe how I'm feeling and it's based on what kind of feeling I want to give to other people who can hear the song.
That makes a lot of sense, and I think any good song has that emotional core. So no matter what you're talking about concept-wise, I think that emotion needs to be there because when you're performing the song, you have to feel that emotion and deliver that. And on top of that, when people are listening to the song, whether that's at like a live performance or just listening to the studio recording, if there's no emotion in that, they're not going to connect. And so I think it's really great how you're so focused on how you're feeling and using that as the inspiration point for your songs. And I do also really like too how you mentioned thinking about what chords you'll use as well. And I think that's one of the benefits of having classical training is we understand chords, how they fit together, different progressions, different kinds of chords, like certain diminished chords or suspended chords and things like that that people who don't have a musical background don't know about. And so I think as classical musicians, when we're writing our songs, we understand how these chords work and the different emotions attached to them. So we're able to diversify our chord structures more.
I'm so happy you mentioned that because I've really been reflecting for the past couple like years on how much my classical training really impacted me. Like for example, I have been able to play so many difficult pieces in terms of hand positions and chords, and even just sometimes sounds that are difficult to hear at first, but they really grow on you, and you see how they fit into a certain melody after a certain period of time. Because of my classical training, I truly feel that I have full control over the piano. Like, I'm not ever going to sit there and feel like I don't know what to play. Even if I don't have like a certain melody in mind, intuitively I can just start playing anything, and I know that because I am so confident with myself that I think it'll turn out fine either way.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think because I do like pop and country music, I do some piano ballads too, and those are my favorites just because I'm not sitting there playing just blocked chords in a very generic rhythm. Like it sounds like a piano composition, even though it's an
Yeah.
accompaniment, because we have the ability to make it intricate and we have the skills to be able to perform that. So I love the piano ballads.
Yeah, me too. I've written mostly piano ballads, but I've also been able to write some rock songs, and no matter what happens, even if I have to get, like, a reference chord for, like, a guitar or, like, a reference note for a bass, I'm always just gonna refer to the piano and see what sounds good from that, just because the sound, number 1, is super clear, and number 2, it really just helps me in my brain decide what I want to go, like, where.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes complete sense. So, being in high school, how do you feel that impacts you as a songwriter? What is it like to be a songwriter in high school?
So, from kind of an age aspect, in high school being a songwriter, I still know that I have a lot to learn, but I still have a really good way to express whatever feelings I have because obviously as I'm growing, as I'm learning things, feelings are bound to come and go and change. So because I have the ability that I do to kind of put my thoughts out and turn them into music, I think it's really, really advantageous for me.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I think it's super brave of you to be writing, recording, releasing music at your age because when I was in high school, I was doing a lot of piano competition, not necessarily songwriting. I've always been like writing stories and sure I'd write like songs here and there, but I wasn't like actively trying to do songwriting. But then when I was in college is when I really started doing it. But even then I was terrified to share my work with people. I only shared it with a few friends and then I didn't really start actively releasing music until I graduated from undergrad. And so it took me a really long time to feel confident enough to share music. So the fact that you're doing that in high school, shout out to you. Could not have been me.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, perfect. So I know you also have done songwriting camps, music circles, that kind of thing. So can you share a little about this?
So I truthfully have never really been part of like a songwriting workshop. I've never really done anything that really analyzes how to write a song like verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, and so forth. But I've been so grateful to be part of a music circle at my sleepaway camp, which is Frenchwood Sports and Arts Center in Upper Delaware, New York. It is a place with some of the most talented people I've absolutely ever met in my life. It's an international camp, so we have talent from Europe and from Asia and from Mexico, just really amazing, talented people that have inspired me completely through almost all of my musical actions. Like for example, in my album, there are 3 songs that were recorded at camp. They're The Sky, Strings, and Find Me. They were recorded with some of the most talented people I've ever met who have been so kind to give me such good advice and have really guided me along my journey with songwriting because they have incredible ideas and they're all so incredible at what they do. So I'm just really grateful to have been able to do that with them.
That's amazing. And I think in general, having that community and people around you who not only support you, but help to make you improve and become a better musician, it's always important to surround yourself with those people who are there for you to support you and point you in the right direction, help you learn. But it's so great to work with people who also make you push your limits and go beyond what you believe that you're able to do.
Right, like, there were so many times in the studio that I was with people at camp where we would sit for hours well, not hours, we would sit for long periods of time, and we would go through kind of writing blocks, and all of a sudden, somebody would pick up an instrument and start kind of just hinting at a bass line, and then all of a sudden, everybody would get inspired, and we would have a song by the end of the week.
Amazing. Love that. So you did mention your album, which is what I would love to chat about next. Can you share the inspiration behind the project as a whole and how it came together?
The inspiration for my album is just it's just kind of a collection of every single feeling that I felt throughout most of my recent life, and it just meant to kind of be something that I did as, like, a passion project, essentially. It was kind of you can almost call it, like, an exercise of free will because I just really wanted to be able to finally share my music with the world and with people that I love. So I would just throughout my entire junior year and a little bit of my sophomore year, I would essentially be going every single weekend to Manhattan to record with an amazing team my songs. And it was a this project is because it took so long, there's a lot of emotion that comes with it, so just being able to release it really does make me emotional at times, just not in, like, the sappy sense of, like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I did this," but more in the sense of, like, I'm really proud of being able to finally bring my ideas to life, because for me, when a song sticks and I'm writing it on the piano, if it's really meant to be, I'll know because all of a sudden, arrangements will, like, start popping into my head, like, I'll start thinking of a bass line, I'll start thinking of, like, drums, I'll start thinking of even strings sometimes. So I think that because I was able to do that, I feel so fulfilled in that sense because it really like my album really is an extension of me and my album really speaks for kind of like what I want to keep doing.
That's amazing, and you should feel proud of it. And congratulations on releasing this. So young,
Thank you so
fabulous
much.
project.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, do you have any favorite songs? I know it's always hard to pick. When people ask me this, I'm like, how do you want me to pick? But right now, if you would have to pick your top two, what would they be?
Ugh, that's like choosing a favorite kid. Oh my god.
Literally, yeah.
Right now, As of this moment, I mean, it kinda changes because
Yeah,
so like, I won't
obviously.
actively listen to my music, but sometimes like, I won't really listen to my music active, like,
Me neither.
I'm not my number 1 streamer on Spotify, like, please, let let's not get that idea there. But sometimes if I'm listening to my music, if I want inspiration for something else that I'm writing even, I would say right now, my 2 favorite songs are probably Last Time and Find Me because they're so different, but they really capture parts of me that I would want to share with people. Also, I just love the chord progressions on them. Like I just enjoy the feeling of singing those kind of chord progressions. I like the sound of them. So those are probably my top 2 right now.
That's amazing. Do you want to share a little more about what those songs are about?
Last Time is really about coming to terms with the fact that somebody is not meant to be in your life. And no matter how much you care about them, at some point you have to tell yourself that you really hope you're never going to interact with them again because you almost know it's going to be too painful if you do. So it's kind of about having the maturity and the guts to walk away from a situation that you know was hurting you, no matter how you feel about it. Because I feel like that's what self respect really is about. I feel like self respect, people think that self respect is just not caring and doing whatever it is to make yourself feel better. I would disagree. I would say that self respect is really doing what you know will be best for you in the long run regardless of how you feel. You can care about a person so much and still have the wisdom to know that it's better to walk away at that point. And Find Me is just anger. Find Me is just me being pissed off, if I'm totally honest. It was really fun to write. There's a lot of guitars, there's a lot of sound, it's loud, it's fun, there's harmonies. It was just kind of like I was just experimenting because I'd never written like a rock song before. So it was just really, really fun for me to kind of see how that process would be.
I love it. There's a song I have called Passive Aggressive, and I wrote that when I was literally in such an angry mood,
Oh,
and
I will be streaming.
and it was so fun because that song is pop rock, and I've never done something like that before that song. I wrote this is one of those ones that came in, like, minutes, like, it just poured out, and I remember I texted my guitarist right after, I'm like, "Luke, I recorded this song, I'm going to the studio next month, I absolutely need to record this, like, now, just to keep the emotion, like, in the vocals, can you please do it?" He did the guitar, he nailed it, it's so good, it's so catchy. I go to the studio, I start to record it, and it was so funny because my producer, like, we've worked together for so long that he kind of knows my style. Even though I bounce back and forth between pop and country, when we were doing it, the amount of times he was like, "Demir, are you sure? Like, how rock do you want this to be? Like, are you sure this is what you want?" Like, he was so flabbergasted by me wanting to do the song, and I was floored because last year, I submitted that song before it was even released. I submitted it to the Josie Music Awards for the Songwriter Achievement category, which is for unreleased songs, and there were like over like a few thousand songs submitted and only 11 won that, and I found out last October that it was one that won, so I have my plaque, which is like crazy that a
That's amazing.
song.
Congrats. No, that's
Yeah, thanks.
seriously
So a
incredible.
song I wrote in such a state of rage like did that. Always right when you're mad.
Oh, 100%. 1000% always right when you're mad. The best the best lines I've ever written was when I literally just sat at my piano with steam coming out of my ears like a literal train, sitting there and just intuitively just letting myself write.
Literally, oh my goodness. Well, congratulations again on your album.
Thank you so much. It really does mean a lot when people kind of tune into it and give me feedback because it is I would say it really is like an extension of me and what I want to show people. So like again, like thank you so much. It really does make a difference in the world to me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just to wrap up, you're so early on in your journey, but you have also learned a lot along the way. So,
For
what is
sure.
one piece of advice you would love to share with other songwriters listening?
To put this in very simple words, caring about what other people think about your music is absolutely not an option if you actually want to get somewhere because people will always have something to say. It's absolutely inevitable. And it's just it's not necessary to ever take it into account if you want to do something because if you know for yourself that you are good at what you do, it should never matter what somebody else is saying. So I feel like the one piece of advice would be that caring is absolutely not an option if you truly want to get somewhere, because the more you care about other people, the less you hold on to your craft. And I feel like people's crafts, just like for me, is so important to them. So it really, really comes down to having a conversation with yourself and saying, do I love or do I find what I do more important than what people have to say about it?
Amazing. You're such a gem. Thank you so much for joining me on the
Thank you for
show.
having me. Oh
Yeah,
my
you're so
goodness.
welcome. Can you please share with everybody where they can connect with you online and listen to your music?
Absolutely. So I have music. Hold on, let me check. Let me check. Yes, okay. I have music streaming on Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music, YouTube Music, and essentially every other platform that you can think of. I am on Instagram at Sasha Maxine, and yeah, that's where you could probably find all my stuff because in my bio and on my posts, I have links to all of my music and all my resources are there.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much again for joining me.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. And listeners, that is a wrap on this chat with Sasha. And of course, until next time, stay
Stay
right
right
on
on
track.
track.